So good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I just wanted to do this live video and finish it up because obviously I had this plan, but I got dragged into a conversation. Jesus Christ! And people are already talking about 2023. I don't know how to wiggle myself out of it. To a point that they even started talking about Yaya Bello, or the one I call Yeye Bello. Jeez. Anyway, you can't be talking to yourself, so I had to. You can see now, I just finished. I haven't, this is the way I was. It just finished literally 1 minute ago, and I had to start. I just need to move to another section of my studio to basically start this conversation that was done from a different part of the studio. Now, this is a burning issue because the one we call the Attorney General of the Federation, in the person of Malami SAM, the other day I said I think Malami is part of the aeroplane drivers. A man who's supposed to be the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation. On critical national issues, he keeps on taking sides. You listen to him and you ask yourself, I've just asked one of my staff basically to check if he can find the video of Akeredolu, that is the governor, one of the chairman of the Southern Governance Forum. See if he can find that video, then I'll see if I can play it. Quickly, let me ask him any luck if I can find that video. But here I have the video of this guy, the one that so quickly, sorry about that. These things keeps happening. Now, let me see if I can get the Malami's video. But before I do, because these are things what we should keep on, and actually I'm trying to put up a conference together that I get the Southern intellectuals to come on this platform and they talk about and review these issues. So let me, before I go into what Malami said, it would be nice to bring in the governor of Ebonyi State to actually speak on this.
In the southeast, you don't have cattle routes, but in the north, we have cattle routes. Exactly. And so nobody is going to say ban, open grazing, in some areas in the north where there are cattle routes, where they move constitutionally from one point to the other. But in the south, there is no cattle route. And so for you to move from one point to the other, you have to move through farms. You have to move through, population, dense areas. And this is not very good. And that's what the southern governors and of course Southeast in particular are saying. Let's go back to our traditional method of relationship, where we no longer allow you to take your cattle from one local government to the other. And the implication is that these foreign headers also come in terms of, mobile headers with AK-47. So that is a source of conflict. So anybody that is saying that there should be no ban on this thing is, on the other hand, saying that, look, these killings will continue. And that's what gave birth to ESN. Whether we support it as governors, we don't. But the people tend to support it because of the foreign headers that pretend that they are raiding cattle and then they are killing. In my own village, a white man was kidnapped in my village that's doing construction, by these foreign headers. And we've encouraged the federal government, let's treat this cattle raiding as a business. Take money from the federation account and develop ranches where they are designated ranches, especially in the north. And the northern governors are willing, but it's been frustrated.
So you see, this is what we're saying. This is the chairman of the Southeastern Governors Forum. Here he is saying it the way it should be. If you want to ranch, nobody is saying you want to let cows move on the road, do it within your region. I don't know, is this that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask for people? We are saying it. You want to ranch. If you want to build ranch, build ranch. But if you want these people to do this, go ahead. So why all these things? Now, the one that actually makes me sick is the comment by the Attorney General of the Federation in the person of Malam or SAN's Malami. And one of these things, you watch them, you think, how did we even get here? How did Malami even get here? And sorry, but when I listen to the argument, when I listen to his argument, he's apparently and obviously, for me, he sounds like an aeroplane driver. That's all. No prejudice here. But for me, he sounds like an aeroplane driver. It appears my internet is. While I was discussing these useless. Okay, I won't say useless, but while I was discussing something that didn't really tickle my fancy, the internet was stable. Now that I want to discuss something that is very important to me and to my people, my internet, I don't know if it's been compromised. Eluka says, take money from Federation account. Is he joking? No. You see, sometimes when you want to solve real problem, there are some uncomfortable things. You see here, let us not play these things this way. If really we want to solve it, federal government must have to come in. And coming in is not throwing money at something. Coming in means federal government could actually avail loans. And when you avail loans, the loans is meant for cow or animal husbandry, right? No one says that me from Anambra State, that if I'm able to get, let's say, 500 million to 1 billion, that I cannot acquire hectares of land and go into ranching. I have contacts in Germany. I can get, some of these good species in Belgium, in the Netherlands. We can go get these species. I think Ekiti State or Osun State, either of the two, recently acquired some special type of cows from Texas, and they are there in Nigeria. So let's not look at solutions. If we're indeed serious in looking at solutions, there might be some uncomfortable compromises.
Structures to operate optimally.
That's the way I look at it. I look at it, things. I'm a realist. I look at things pragmatically, saying this is where things should go. But let us listen to Malami. This is going to be a very short broadcast because honestly, I've been sitting down for the last couple of hours. So I just need to quickly do this broadcast this night in order for us to understand this. I have this on my mind. I need to do a live broadcast for this. So let's listen.
Constitutional structures to operate optimally.
So when the southern governors are asking for restructuring, you're throwing back to them that they need to go and restructure their. Is that what you're saying?
It's truly, because they cannot deny, for example, the local government to operate optimally. They cannot deny the autonomy of the legislature, state legislature, and state judiciary, and still be clamoring for restructuring. What restructuring are we talking about?
But those who have, for example, let's take one item at a time.
Yes.
The issue of devolution of power.
Yes.
Do you think that the federal government carries too much? The concurrent and the exclusive legislative list, do you think that should be tampered with?
All powers are indeed embedded in financial autonomy. What have they done to allow the local government structures to operate optimally? Take, for example, a situation whereby a local government council is entitled, among others, to participate in the security arrangement of a state. And then the local government council chairman is denied of the fund to run the local government. With the fund, he can now deploy the resources down to the village head, down to some other associations operating with it. But now you deny him the resources available to make them available to a village head. even if a village head has intelligence report about a criminal existing within the society, he is denied of the limited resources that he could use to come over to the local government council chairman to notify him, for the local government council chairman to come over to the state DSS headquarters, for example, or the police to notify. Then what are you talking about?
So you will not advise the president to listen to those calls for restructuring?
They should address it at their own level first, and then let us see what happens before now coming over to the president. It's not about the president. It's about denial of the functionality of the structures at the bottom, at the lower level. And that is what indeed restructuring is all about. If you allow the state legislature to operate optimally, the checks and balances required will be there. If you allow the local government council to operate optimally, the necessary development in terms of devolution of powers are there. But once you deny them the resources to operate, the autonomy to operate, then certainly you cannot, you do not have a legitimate right to clamor, to perhaps agitate for any restructuring. So, because you are not a believer in allowing the process to operate optimally in terms of taking its natural course.
So for you, restructuring call is dead on arrival?
I don't even understand what they are talking about restructuring against the background of denial of the other existing structures to operate.
So they also called, that they asked and they said, actually, that they've banned open grazing across southern region of the country. What's your view on that?
Well, it's about constitutionality. Within the context of the freedoms expressed in our constitution, enshrined in our constitution, can you deny a right of a Nigerian? For example, it's as good as saying, perhaps maybe the northern governors coming together to say that they prohibit spare parts trading in the north.
You see, that is why if I say he sounds like an aeroplane driver, jeez, I cannot believe that this person actually qualifies as SAN. I cannot believe for 1 second that this person actually is the Attorney General of a federation. Making a comparison and this very, very inciting statement saying if the northern governors is akin to northern governors coming together to say you're banning spare parts, Mr. Attorney General. Anyway, I will get back to the response by Senator Njenje Abaribe. Let me let you finish. I will come back to you. Let's go ahead.
Does it hold water? Does it hold water for a northern governor to come and state expressly that he now prohibits spare parts trading in the north?
But when the governors came together and said, this is the problem that we've seen, and this is the solution, and they felt, look, the solution will be stop the open grazing across the land, stop the transportation by foot of cattle.
If you are talking of a constitutionally guaranteed right, the better approach to it is to perhaps, you have spoken earlier about the constitutional amendment, is to go back to ensure the constitution is amended. The constitution, freedom and liberty of movement, among others, is established by the constitution. If by an inch you want to have any compromise over it, the better approach is to go back to the National Assembly. Open grazing should be prohibited, and see whether you can have the desired, perhaps, support for the constitutional amendment in that respect. But it is indeed a dangerous position for any governor in Nigeria to think that he can bring about any compromise on the freedom and liberty of individuals to move around.
Now, the only reason why he's saying this, because he knows that when you get to the National Assembly, it will be dead on both houses, both on the Senate, on the and on the lower house. It will be dead on arrival. Now, this man here speaking forgot and totally forgot when the northern governors came together to prohibit the sale of and drinking of alcohol When they implemented Sharia, they forgot that we are in a federation. And these are things that were not harmful to the society, rather than people destroying people's land in the process kidnapping them, demanding for ransom. And you think open grazing should be allowed too. And I think, and I like the tone of the southern governors, because it's beginning to, they are beginning to make sense to me. They are beginning to make sense. Quickly, let me bring in, I think, Njenje Media probably, I think they published it. Let me quickly bring in what this guy here said. Let me see if you can you see my screen? Yes, you can. Hold on, let me remove this so you can see my screen properly. So here is what the governors are saying, and especially this is coming from the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum. No, look, he says, Malami's comparison of open grazing ban and spare parts business shows a terrible mindset of wickedness and arrogance. Akeredolu. Okay, so you come down here, you see Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, Ondo State Governor, has responded to the criticism of Attorney General of the Federation, who is also the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN, on this resolution of Southern governors, blah, blah, blah. Now, Malami had taken a swipe at the Southern governor decision and posited that banning open grazing of cows in the south is similar to banning the sale of spare parts in the north. Malami also declared that resolution was unconstitutional. Now, this is the part I like very well. Akeredolu himself, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Let's see who can fly an aeroplane and who can drive an aeroplane. When brain powers begin to work together. I'm loving this. In the words of Patrick Obiagbo, I'm loving this Barakboism. Now, here he says that his comparison of spare part sellers and the railing of cows is, it's indiscriminately. In a no-hold-bar press release, blah, 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 he basically here, where he started, bombarding him, and he said, it is most unfortunate that the Attorney General of Federation is unable to distill issues as expected of a senior advocate. That is the first slap. Indirectly telling him your SAN or your sonship is in question. It appears to be from driving an aeroplane. He says, Nothing can be more disconcerting. The outburst should ordinarily not elicit response from reasonable people who know the distinction between a legitimate business that is not in any way injurious and certain, predilection to anarchy, clinging to an anachronic model of animal husbandry, which is evidently injurious to harmonious relationship between the herder and the farmers, as well as the local populace, is wicked and arrogance. And that is arrogance. That is it. So this is sucker punch number 2. Basically, the punch is, I can't believe that. And I'm happy that while that is even happening, that Senator Njenje Abaribe, you should know him, the Maya, also joined in delivering that punch, actually, because Abaribe also responded. Abaribe also responded. Let me quickly see, but let me finish this one quickly here. Mr. Malami is advised to approach the court to challenge the legality of these laws of the respective state banning open grazing. I'm loving this because we will then have the Barakboism of the brain and that of the foot. So you go into court. This is not National Assembly issue. Let us test these things in court. If the state does not have the right to say that if you are destroying our farmland, we have to stop it. Because by saying this, what they are not saying, they're not saying you shouldn't sell cow in the southeast or in the south. They are not saying you shouldn't sell. I mean, this I said yesterday, this arguing this and talking about these things makes me sick. No one is saying you mustn't sell cow. No one is saying you mustn't sell in the southeast. No one is saying you mustn't sell in the southwest or south. All they are saying, do not move them by road. How is that equating to someone saying it's going to be compared to buying a spare parts? Comparing this anachronism, which has led to loss of lives, and that is one thing they appear not to understand. It has led to loss of lives, farmland, properties, and endangered, untold hardship on the host communities. With buying and selling of auto parts is not only strange, it is annoying. It betrays terrible mindset. Terrible mindset. And again, I will say, Trikboza for the governor for really giving it to him. At least now a son is speaking to a son. One of the son is flying an aeroplane. The other is driving an aeroplane. Make your choice. Not me. I'm not the one that said it. I'm just repeating the words of a son. That one son, in this case, is driving an aeroplane. The other son is flying. What's it called? Is flying the aeroplane. The other is driving. So who is driving? Who is flying? You be the judge. You can tell me who is flying and who is driving in the comment section. But before I leave you tonight, people, I don't want this to be more than 30 minutes. I'll get in Naya Abaribe to also look at his own view of what he said. In the same today, all these things they happen as we say in the this is not Naya Abaribe. Quickly, pardon me. Let me bring in Njenje Abaribe here. Sorry. Where is it? Okay. Abaribe also said the following, right? This is what Abaribe also said, so that we understand where we are headed to. Abaribe said the following here. The Senate's Minority Leader, Chief Njenje Abaribe, has berated the Attorney General of the Federation regarding the comments he made on the spare parts sellers, Njenje Media reports. Now, the senator called the comment divisive rhetoric and unfortunate. Now, the story goes. Why did local Burundi change? Abaribe is bringing it from another angle. Why did local Burundi change? Business mostly done by the Fulanese are operating in all parts of Nigeria. Why have they not elicited any resentment of other Nigeria? When people with gray matters in between their scores are talking, why has, if you're in Lagos, you go towards Obalende, you see Brody change. If you're in Lagos, you go towards Sulere, Babs Alimasha, is it towards what's it called, Shita? You see them running to you. Hey, the other day, a couple of weeks ago, I was alighting from my Uber, the Uber driver. Before I came to check someone that I think is Akeredolu Street or whatever in Lagos, and they just they just rushed me. Oh, dollar. I got it. Selling me dollar. It selling me. It buy me dollar. It buy me. Has the Yorubas ever protested? Because they are a business people. The new businessmen, when they see them, none of them poses threat. Those people are not accused of rape. They are not accused of kidnap. They are not accused of any evil. You come down to Onitsha, go to Main Market, you see so many places. You come down to Omaya, there are places they stand. You go to Port Harcourt towards towards a presidential hotel. If you want to get into presidential hotel, sometimes you come down there, you stay at the presidential hotel, just want to come out. The whole of GRA in Lagos, in Port Harcourt is, you have, like Abaribe said, people selling dollars there. And that is a legitimate business. And everyone could actually see that what they are doing, it's legitimate. And that is not condemned. If you go to Okigwe, people still sell cows. And no one has ever antagonized them. Rather, this is a competitive business. If you go to Agolo, people still sell cows. If you go to Oyoga, people still sell cows. So why is it that the only crime is do not move these cows by foot? Because if you do, you are hurting the people, and it becomes, everyone starts shouting as if the world is ending. Now, he says, Mr. Malami is advised to approach the court to challenge the legality of this law of the respective states banning open grazing and decision of the Southern Governors Forum taken in the interest of the people. We shall be most willing to meet in the court. You see, Abaribe also added that part. See us in the court. Akeredolu is saying, see us in the court. Okay? So everybody is now saying, so what is going to happen is, because everybody is now mad, Abby. In the spirit of madness, I will donate my 1,000 naira for the petrol that all the sons that will go to court. So you can donate your own. If you donate airtime to them or whatever, let us all now get mad, proper. In the spirit of going to court, Abaribe is heading. He said, "Let us see in court." Akeredolu is saying, "Let us see in court." Malami will see in court. Some people will fly aeroplane to court. Why some people will drive that aeroplane to court? So let us see. In a 21st century, you wake up. You're not talking about development. We're not talking about, how do we make our children 21st century compliant. We're not talking about how do we equip the schools that we have within this country. We're not talking about how do we use technology to protect the lives of your citizens. You're not talking about these things. All we keep talking about is whether cows should move back. I feel insulted. Honestly, I feel insulted. We're talking about whether cows should move. If I say cows should not move by road, then I am against you. Nah, man. So see, Kenry Barr says, let us meet in court. You see, this court, we are going to get into it now today. We are going to, some people who need slippers. Some people say, what's the case? Some people can push the plane for all I care. Yeah, say Chinwe is saying that some people can push the plane. So if the plane doesn't want to go, they can push it. But if the plane wants to go, we can see in the court. So everyone is, because listen, there is, yesterday when I did my video yesterday, I said there is limit to madness. There is limit to how you can push a people. There is limit to you pushing a people to a point. Even goats, I said yesterday, even goats can bite. There is limit to what a goat can take from you. And the South has been very, very peaceful, has been very, very mature in trying to deal with this, to say, please, we want this to be resolved amicably. Our people are complaining. You saw it when I played the clip from even the Ebony State governor. You saw the statements he made. The people are complaining. These are the leaders of the people, and they are feeling the pulse of their people, and they are telling you, please kindly stop this barbarism. In 21st century, you are talking about the children must keep trekking thousands of kilometers. You're not concerned about their welfare, how they will go to school. You're not concerned how their future, their mates are in schools learning how to code. That's why you see the police arresting young men, women when they have laptops without knowing that you can create businesses with your laptop. Everything stays on air. You have your, now I'm talking to you. Many of you watching me from all over the world. This is what technology can do. Talking about how do you better your life, better the life of your children, better the life of the unborn children, protect their future. No, we are talking about cow. They do us safe. Man, they talk about cow, no, they tire on. You wake up every day rather than discuss serious issues. You guys, you have to provoke someone to come online and debunk some of this nonsense. Honestly, it is arrant nonsense that you guys talk about. I mean, it can really get you angry. It can be really annoying. Cow, 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 cow. Cow is a private business. Okada is a private business. Didn't Lagos state government ban Okada? Did heaven fall? Does a state not have the right to ban Okada? If Okada is used for criminal activities, don't they have the right to ban it? So if cow trekking is causing too much trouble, of course you ban it. And here we are. Listen, it's just that you don't have a government. Let me not even, but because this guy called Malami should be sacked. It's you know, he has no business being there. It's just a minus. He should be sacked. And here we are talking about cow, 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 cow. Anyway, so before I go, I need to give a shout out to, what's it called? CJ, is it? Yeah, I need to give up OCJ Ekwam. I got your super chat yesterday via PayPal. OCJ, thank you very much. Good morning, Maz. Oh, good morning. Oh yeah, it's almost morning, my brother. Thank you very much. So again, I say to everyone, thank you very much for joining me. I mean, honestly, if I just take a couple of your comments, maybe for just 1 or 2 seconds, 2 minutes, sorry. Compare spare parts with cow business is very idiotic. What did he say? Hold on. Compare spare parts cow business is idiotic. Wow, that's running. I'm running to get to court before it's closed. Please, oh please, if you get to that court, you Chike, Abi Chike KBO4. If you get to that court, look for stone. Put it at the door so that if somebody is trying to close the door, it won't close. I'm coming before. If I finish now, I'm running faster. I know that Azo Kamba and what is it called, Bobby King, Okudili Jacob, even my good friend Yinka, they are all running. Even before you get there, they might even come before you, and everybody will be. Everybody will be. Even myself, I will be. I will be san. If I cannot be san by driving aeroplane, I will push the aeroplane. San. Even if it's something. All of them na san. What are you talking? People can just make you angry unnecessarily. We're talking about cow. I beg, let's leave these people alone, Joe. Anyway, on that note, I said, let me just do this quick one. And everyone, thank you for joining me this evening. Please, if you get to that court, as any near Abaribe said we should see in court, Akeredolu said we should see in court. Me, I'm also heading to court. So if you get to that court, please, don't let them lock the door. So that all of us will do night vigil in that court. Yeah, we'll do night vigil in that court. On that note, I'll say thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to speak to all of you. Peace out.